without Joy?
Yeah. Before we start, everybody please turn off their phone completely. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Dorothy Watson. I'm the chair. Unfortunately, I had surgery yesterday, and extensive surgery on my lips. So I have asked our vice chair, Chris Campbell, to take over. So I'm going to pass it on to you.
Thanks, Dottie, and I hope the board will bear with me and give me some slack. Can we call the roll, please?
Chair Watson?
Here.
Vice Chair Campbell?
Here.
Board Member Meredith is currently absent. Board Member Manley?
Here.
Board Member Tina Louise is absent, and Board Member Montanti.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We're now calling for public comments. So if any of you have anything good, bad, or indifferent to talk about the Village Fest, now's your time to do it. 5 minutes each. Are there any public comments? Seeing no public comments. Board comments. Any board comments?
Not yet.
Okay, good. Okay, is there correspondence?
We have none.
Thank you. Now it's time for the consent calendar. And the consent calendar, if we adopt the consent calendar, will be the report on the posting of the agenda and the approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Go ahead.
I make a motion we can approve the consent calendar.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So the consent calendar is, the consent calendar is approved. So now it's time for legislative action, which means the whole point of why you're sitting here. Thank you. The first vendor to approach us will be Brad Reel. Brad?
Oh, good.
Those wonderful hamburgers.
Hey, Dave, how are you? Welcome.
We are back. Good afternoon. Thank you for seeing us today. We really appreciate it. Crystal's and my first month being vendors at VillageFest has been a huge success. Huge.
Oh.
We plan on doing this 12 months a year. We're here full time. We're really excited about it. That said, we noticed that our menu was falling a little bit short in terms of a side item offering. Our burgers have been killing it. People like our potato chips, and our beverages has been fine. But we felt like there was a shareable missing, and especially something in the winter. We noticed people are walking around, like one or two people will buy one thing and enjoy them together. We worked over the last month at coming up with our own version of a Frito pie. It holds to all of our heyday standards of as locally sourced and as organic as possible. Yes, there are corn chips, but as possible. Very, very, very high integrity ingredients. And we feel like it would be a great addition to our burgers. So hopefully they're still warm. We had to drive over here, but I hope you enjoy them. And we're looking forward to being able to serve this at least in the cold months. And if people really like it, then we'll keep it around.
I have to share with you a first for me. That someone came up to me and said, "Have you had that heyday hamburger?" And I said, "Well, yes, I have."
Yeah.
But that's a first, you guys.
That's
so
great.
It's really, really a pleasure to have you with us.
Oh, we appreciate that. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about the product at all?
Looks delish.
Well, it sounds like everybody's enjoying it. So are there any further questions?
It was
Doesn't sound like it.
delicious.
Did we hear a motion to accept this item?
I'll make a motion to accept this item.
Second?
I'll second.
Get my mouth full. Wonderful.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We'll
Brad.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
see you on the street.
We'll see you out there this Thursday.
Okay, with your pie. Wonderful, thank you.
The second person is Arnold Mitchum. Arnold Mitchum Entertainment.
Welcome.
Hi, my name's Arnold Mitchum, and haven't been here in about 10 years. I've been up north, but I used to do the street fair, and I sold a lot of CDs at the street fair when people bought CDs, and it kind of took me a lot of places. Selling CDs here actually got me on writing music for a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm currently writing for a couple of TV shows, but NCIS is one of them. And I like playing in front of people as much as I like the studio. I like the VillageFest. And for like 8 years, it was like every Thursday I was there. Summer, winter, no matter what. Life changes, and I'm back in the desert. And, commuting back and forth to LA. And some new music and some old music. And it kind of speaks for itself. So I don't know what we're going to listen to, but I'll tell you. All right, this is my new stuff that I'm writing for kind of NCIS show, Little Angry Blues.
They'll be dancing in the street. Yeah.
I like it.
So you'll be there every Thursday night singing?
I could be there every Thursday night
Rotate.
singing. Yeah, I'm playing Friday nights at PGA West, so I'm plugging back in out here.
Oh,
And the other CD, if you want to hear it, is instrumental and a whole different kind of feel and world from this. It's more flamenco Latin style, and that's what I used to do. And now I've kind of branched out, and I'm also currently doing Spotify and Pandora and Amazon, iTunes, and a radio promotion behind this current CD. So I don't think I'll sell a lot of CDs, but I would like to hand out cards saying, please go to Spotify, and if you like my music, put a heart by it, because that's as good as you can do for me right now is,
Sure.
liking me on Spotify or some of those, formats.
Very good.
Are there any other questions?
She's going to
Oh,
play
you can play now.
just a little,
Okay.
yeah, let's hear it.
I'm self-contained, one-man show,
One man.
I probably won't use tracks. I like just playing guitar and singing, so it'll probably just be kind of the Arnold show, But I'm good about talking to people, and, if somebody wants to hear something, I'll even take a request. I'm a little crazy that way, so
Oh,
it's like,
good. Good for you. Yeah, I like it too.
Do you have business cards?
Currently, I don't have business cards, but I have what's called a one sheet with me, but I will have business cards by the time I start doing it. And the one sheet is kind of just a promotion and where this last record, how it came about, and more the type of things you send to radio stations.
Great.
Are there any other questions?
Sounds good, though.
Do I hear someone recommending that we accept this vendor?
I'll make a motion that we accept this vendor to the street.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments?
I've
Shall we take
known
it- I'm
Arnold
sorry.
for 20 years.
Oh.
And,
Is that all?
I saw him the other day, and that was awesome that he's going to be back at VillageFest, because I think he's really one of the success stories of VillageFest.
Yeah.
That's
Really.
terrific.
It plugged me into, I was out here playing in the desert, working for agents, and also at the same time playing with bands on the road, doing the Vegas thing and all that stuff, backing up some pretty big names. But VillageFest showed me that I could make a living with my own music. I was backing up, the Righteous Brothers as a bass player, and that was good. That was fine.
Sure.
But once I found out that I can write and do my own music, and VillageFest kind of proved that to me, because I was selling, 100 CDs on a Thursday. That's good cash money when you're the record label and the producer and the artist. You're like,
Shall we take a vote? Do I have let's take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
We'll
passes.
see you back on the street.
Thank you much. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
Arnold.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you, Arnold.
very nice.
Next, Matt Warren, paper 8. Matt? Hi.
Chris, if you, maybe, because you kind of bounce off, let's see if that's better. Yeah, I don't know.
Right next to it.
Oh, did you? Well, it's down.
Hi.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you all.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm based in Los Angeles. I'm an artist, illustrator, so I do illustrations that are kind of these movie posters. I don't know if you want to pass this around.
Sure.
I'll give you this one.
Okay.
But yeah, but I do like these illustrations, which are they're all kind of pencil. So they're like my version of movie posters, and then I do these more kind of character ones, which are so like this is from Grease 2.
Oh,
But so it's like a quote and an image. So I do these. So I sell the prints. And then I also I just opened up a store in Silver Lake in Los Angeles. So I have it as like a studio, and then it's a print shop. So I do the printing of the T-shirts myself as well. So I sell the prints, and then I have yeah. These are
Oh,
like tank tops.
yeah. Oh, neat, yeah.
So yeah, so I kind of do it all like in-house. I do the illustrations and then I print them. And yeah, that's kind of it. Then I have the t-shirts.
Yeah, very good.
The Whisperado. This is a big seller. And then I do sweaters as well. So that's from Home Alone. I know, you know. Yeah, of course.
Wait till you see this.
And then yeah, I just started doing these kind of hoodies as well.
Oh,
So
that's great, yeah.
A streetcar named Desire, and then tote bags. Yeah, they're bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been to, like I'm based in Los Angeles, but I've kind of been to the VillageFest a number of times. I have some friends that live down here, and I've also sold, I did the Palm Springs Pride a couple of times, so I kind of have felt out the area. So, and it's just, I do some other markets in Los Angeles, but I'm trying to kind of branch out and, you know, like find some other places which are close enough, but not. Yeah.
And you would drive here every Thursday
Yeah.
to be in your tent? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. These are great.
Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I think it's great work.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to accept this vendor?
I'll make a motion to accept this vendor in Village Fest for the items that we've seen today.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor of accepting this vendor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
We
Matt.
will see you on the street.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Next up is Julie Cruz. Cruz and Art Ceramics.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Shall I just pass around a couple of my pieces? I will pass that way. My name is Julie, and I have a home-based studio in my garage. Where I throw pottery.
microphone because
I throw the pottery at my home-based studio in my garage. I throw it and hand paint it. I am actually looking for a venue about once a month, so I'm not sure if you guys would allow that or not. So I'm not, I've done pottery for about 4 years. I did a class in high school, and my kids gave me a gift certificate to a little group class, and I took that 4 years ago. Thought, this hot damn, this is fun, and then got laid off from my job. And my husband and I thought, well, let's give it a try. Let's give it a whirl and see if this works. Certainly doesn't pay what I was making as a buyer, but
But I bet you're
love
having
doing
more
it.
fun.
It's in my garage with my 2 dogs, and it is a blast.
Do you have a kiln in your house?
I have 2 wheels and a kiln. Everything is, I'm completely self-sustained in my garage.
Prices are great.
It's pretty. There's pictures.
How long a drive is it for you from your?
It was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So that's a reason, one of the reasons why once a month would be great. That's not, I love driving, so that's not an issue, but every week would be a bit of an issue.
Oh, gosh, this is nice.
And staff, you can accommodate this once a month? Great. Just mine. Thank you.
Gosh.
Are there any
work
other
in your
questions?
Colors,
Thank you.
I love.
Thank you. I love doing
Have we
it.
seen everything?
And I have, whenever I get a burr, there's always a new product. So it'll be different. Every single time I do any kind of throwing, it's always different. So hopefully that's not an issue.
We're signed.
Yeah, they're signed. I've got a JC on there for my signature. It is, for whatever little container. Now, I have a whole line of amazing sponge holders coming up right now, so. I don't have pictures of them. They're just now being thrown. So, but I do sell sponge holders. So that's just a canister. People can put whatever they want in that.
And your graters, you'll have those.
I'll have garlic graters. I'll have most of those things that are, they're my bread and butter. Sponge holders, garlic graters, spoon holders.
Okay.
Those I constantly have because people are always buying those. But little fun things like this, they'll be unique and one of a kind. Actually, everything is.
Just
But
darling.
thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I have a question. Tortilla warmers, what does that look like? Do you have one with you? Potato warmer? No, tortilla.
I do not have one with me. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't try.
It's a lidded. It's like a brie baker. It can be used to bake brie. And again, they're all going to be different. I thought about bringing that with me, but I wish I did. Yeah. So it's along the same kind of a style as that, but it's and it's oven proof.
But everything that you have is engraved with your initials in the pottery?
Yes, it's all signed. I've got a date on every piece and my signature.
What do you fire at usually on your glazing?
04, and then I do cone 5. My kiln runs hot, so it's probably more cone 6. Everything's lead free. Everything's microwave safe. Everything's oven safe. So.
Do I hear a motion to accept?
1 second.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
And are you the only person, or do you have
Just
helpers?
Just me and my 2 dogs.
And you throw all that in one?
I throw all of everything. That's what I do all day long, every day.
I want your job.
I love my job. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that is
It is the most amazing thing. I'm a terrible employee, but I'm a great artist. So it's like I don't ever want to work in an office again.
Yeah. Again, I love your colors.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept this vendor.
And I'll second.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Vendors accepted.
Thank
We
you.
will see you on the street.
Absolutely.
Okay, Julie. Very nice.
Next up, Laura. I wanted to make sure. Thank you. Straight from the Heart Studios.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
You can check out the different styles.
You can take,
Unlike the lady that just left, I am a terrible artist.
Oh.
And I discovered this lovely thing called water marbling.
Oh.
And these are 100% silk bandanas and scarves. And what we do is very different than what most artists do. We bring our supplies to the village fair, and your folks who are walking around and looking actually design and make their own scarves while they're there. We have been in business since August. Water marbling has been around for, well, it's called shimonagachi in Japan. It's been around for a very, very long time. And what we do is we bring trays. We have a tray that does the bandana. We have a tray that does the scarf. They're, like I said, they're 100% silk. They're hand-sewn hems. And we treat the water so that the paint floats on top. So what we do is you lay it down. Well, we lay it down. We don't let anybody lay it down. But we let people design. I have a really quick video, if you guys would like to see it, on my iPad. It's about 30 seconds. And what it does is it shows the whole process from start to finish. Everything that we use, without giving away any of our trade secrets, the water is treated with a seaweed product, and that's what allows the paint to sit on top of the water. And then
So everything's non-toxic.
non-toxic, it's all 100%. And these were all that we did just kind of goofing around. We offer them for sale if people don't want to make them. We have finished products as well that we can sell. But the experience of making your own is just so much fun. And you, like I said, you don't have to be an artist. We have the tools that people use. We call them stylists. They look a lot like a skewer that you would use on your barbecue to make designs in the paint, and then that's it. That's it. And we are, like I said, we are a fairly new business. The woman that taught me how to do this has her own shop that she does it out of her own studio. And that's what we are looking for. We want to try to find the community that's going to support us in that whole thing. And Palm Springs being such a huge tourist community, lots of people coming and going all the time. It's a unique experience for the folks who come to Palm Springs, but eventually what we want to do is open up a brick and mortar where people can come in. We've been doing private parties, employee engagement. We just recently were out here in the desert doing a Palm Springs John Deere event, and they had all the spouses come while their husbands and wives, I'm assuming there weren't any men there, but were in corporate meetings. And then we just sat there and made scarves with 25 women all morning long. It was, and it's awesome. I echo the sentiments of the young lady that just left. I never want to be in corporate America again.
So I've actually seen this down by the beach.
Yes, that's the woman who taught me.
Huntington Beach,
Yes.
and their street fair there.
She's not there anymore because her business has taken off so much. She's opened her studio, and now you have to go there if you want to do it.
So what's fascinating about this is you actually pay to make your own scarf, and you design it how you want, and the paint is heavier than the water, so it's really quite amazing. When they lift that scarf up, all the colors come onto it. Very fascinating. I was hoping we would get something like that here.
Yeah.
How long does it take, dear, if I'm at the street fair?
It takes you about, we tell people you need to put your paints down and make your pattern in about 10 minutes. Because the paint starts to dry on top of the water, and then you get kind of a crackled effect on it, which is really honestly cool on some of the scarves. I mean, you cannot make an ugly scarf. And I've seen some paints on water that one of my very dear friends made, and I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be horrible. And when we printed it on the silk, it was actually lovely.
See?
It's really a difficult art to screw up. So they make it, we fold it up, we put it into a, my husband made this. He has Parkinson's, and he did a fantastic job with it, and we videotaped him, and it's like when people are like, oh, I can't do that, I'm like, Parkinson's guy did this. You can totally do this. So we fold it up, we put it in a baggie, and they can take it back to their hotel room and treat it, or they can take it back home wherever they're going. It can stay in the bag for, I've left some longer than I want to admit in my toolbox and had to take them out, and you just soak them in some water and fabric softener, and it softens up the silk. And then you iron it, and we give everybody printed instructions, my phone number. You have problems, we guarantee it. It's and with Valentine's Day coming up, this one here, as you can see, has lots of hearts on it. So it makes a great gift as well, you know.
It
makes guy. I'm like, make one for your mom. Come on.
It dries.
Some of the gentlemen make better scarves than the
They
females
do because they don't overthink like some of us do.
It dries really fast, so as soon as it hangs up, it's dry because it's on silk. So
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it. We love it.
So much fun.
And I have a similar story. I didn't get let go, but my husband said, you hate your job so much. If you want to get this business going, you should quit and just focus on your business. And I was like, you know, he's a really smart man.
Yeah.
And I followed.
She did. This is my daughter. So I get to
nice.
work with her all the time. We always need an excuse to go away together. And that way, her fiance, my husband, they have absolutely nothing to complain about because it's work.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to. I mean, we're spending the night out here. So, because it's such a horrible long drive back that we felt like we needed to stay.
Will both of you be
Yes.
be here?
Yes.
Okay.
And I
on
also
Thursday.
have a son who's traveling Europe right now. He's way more personable than we are. When we do parties, people
Yeah.
want to wait for his tray. I don't get
He's
it.
a lady charmer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that's all
We'll
right.
wait for Matt.
You can bring him to the street. Good looking fella.
Yeah, and charming, and
Yes.
very artistic.
Okay, do we have any more discussion? Do I hear a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion, we accept these artists.
I second.
Any other discussion? Let's vote. All in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Opposed?
We will see you
will
ladies
see
on the
us on the
street. How
Get
nice.
to have one of those Frito pie.
Yeah. Oh, his hamburgers are fabulous. I know it.
Next is Anna Rose, and I don't want to pronounce your last name incorrectly, so I'm going to just call you Anna Rose.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. He's my husband.
And my name is Kovan,
Hi.
and we live in India.
Okay.
And we have been in business since about October. And Anna makes all of the stuff that we are going to show you today. And
Coven, you can take the microphone off of that so you talk into it for us. You can take it right off of it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Anna makes all the products that we are going to show you today. And it's all made at home out of one of our bedrooms. And as I said, both of us are retired. And we decided that we'll do something to keep us busy.
Good.
And she discovered she has got some really good sewing skills.
I guess
So she started making them and testing them with friends and relatives who really loved it and said that we should start, a home business.
And what part do you help?
I do mostly the setting up, breaking down,
Okay,
paying the
okay.
bills.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And all my aprons are unisex,
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
and everybody can use it.
great.
And I have like 12 different styles. I
Oh,
brought only 3.
uh-huh. Very nice, uh-huh.
You can see them. Thank you.
And she also makes clutch purses, as well as cosmetic bags, iPad bags, coin purses.
Ruth is good, and the paperwork's there to make it.
Okay.
Also, I have like 6 or 7 different styles of
Cosmetic bags.
Oh, okay,
Good for travel, too.
yeah.
Yeah, we call them travel or cosmetic bags. That's what we call them.
I need a new one.
And then we also have iPad or tablet bags.
tablet. Yeah. I can go.
Good.
Couldn't find it. 7 different styles too.
Are you at any other festivals?
We are
selling,
we
or-
are current. We actually started at the COD in
Oh,
October,
okay.
third week in
Good sewer,
October,
too.
and we find that we are actually doing
Yeah,
fairly
she's a
well.
good sewer.
And the vendors who actually sell out there
love
are the ones who told about the opportunities here.
Oh,
So
okay,
they said we are a natural fit because it's all handmade.
yeah.
Thick shoe.
I love this.
These are nice, these are nice.
Jewelry
Jewelry
pouches.
bags, uh-huh. She's good at, on the machine, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is.
Wow, looks good.
Thank you. I love what I do.
Yeah, oh.
God, everybody up here is loving it. Boy, good day. Love what they're
Everything has my
doing.
logo.
You have to love this to do it.
Yeah. Darn.
Good stuff. Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't
Do I
think so.
hear a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept this crafter into Village Fest.
I'll second that. Beautiful work. Thank you. Beautiful.
It's beautiful, and I love that you have your label and everything,
I do
which
too.
not only helps us know that you've handcrafted it, but it'll help people, like when somebody gets that as a gift, they'll know if they want to buy 50 more of them, where they could get them from you, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All in favor of accepting this vendor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Darn.
Have fun.
For material.
Thank you.
We will see you on the street, you two. Okay, you don't have far to drive. That's nice.
Next, we have Valley Dates, Alejandro Garcia.
Do we still have the cherry people out there, the cranberries?
Yes, on the street, yeah.
Haven't seen
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, unless they move. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, just take it right off. I get pinches or something. Yeah, there you go.
We are Valley Dates. We started our business this year. We are located at the COD in Palm Desert at the street fair. My dad had his own booth at Palm Desert 20 years ago, but then we moved to Mexico, and 20 years after we got married, and I'm doing the same thing as my dad. And we want to be part of the VillageFest. We had some samples. We sell dates, licorice, raisins, dried fruit, trail mix,
Cranberries.
cranberries. We have medjool dates and barhi dates. Barhi dates, it tastes like caramel. It's a little sweeter than the other one.
Julie, we need the pinchers. Oh, and your dates come from?
Coachella.
Okay. Oh, they're just beautiful. Oh.
I know your dad 20 years ago. I've been here about 32 years, so I know
Really?
him from the street fair.
Uh-huh.
I just needed
Yeah.
a minute here. I wanted to try one of these stuffed ones. Oh, yeah. God, these are beautiful.
The orange one is apricot rolled in coconut.
Oh.
The orange one right there.
How's that one back?
Yeah. And where do you do your work? Because
In a kitchen in what it
you
what it's
rent
called?
a space.
Yeah, we rent a space.
Okay.
Kitchen incubator or something like that.
Your presentation is beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that one of the
The orange one?
I
Yeah.
need
That's apricot rolled in coconut.
Thank you.
Really good.
And the other one is date paste, and it's rolled in coconut, this one. And it has an almond on the top.
Tell me about this. Oh,
Coconut, apricot rolled in coconut.
Uh-huh, rolled in coconut. Yeah, it's wonderful.
it is.
Well, from the sound of everything, I don't think people have any two more questions. Do I hear a motion to accept?
I make a motion, we accept this.
I'll second
Vendor.
it. Oh, delish.
I know it looks good. Eventually I'll eat it.
All in favor of accepting this
Wait,
vendor?
can I,
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
excuse
just
me.
want to ask one thing. I know that in farmer's market, we have always had licorice. And I know that when my husband was on this commission, he used to like to ask, what tree exactly does the licorice grow on? Is that something within the farmer's market? And like, what are the parameters for that sort of a product?
I think licorice is one of those items that kind of has just, it's always been. So
Yeah.
if the board would like to have further discussion, whether they want to continue to have it and allow the people who are already selling it continue to, we're more than welcome to. But I do believe it's just a product that kind of has been grouped in with all the
Yeah.
other farmers markets and has continued over the years.
I just want to bring it up only because it is something that we
Yeah.
allow, even though it doesn't actually grow on a tree or anything like dates normally would. So I just wanted to bring it up just so that everybody would just be aware of that. Yeah, it's totally okay with me, and this is really good licorice.
Yeah, do you remember the last gentleman 2 weeks ago or
Yes.
something? That's all he sells. is
Yeah, I thought it with him
licorice.
too, but I wasn't feeling quite as sassy as I feel right now.
No, good.
So,
Every fair that I've been at, they've always had the nuts.
Yeah.
The licorice and the fruit.
yeah. Yeah, and it's good to have it. How many booths do we have approximately that are like selling dates and stuff? I mean, I know it's changed a lot over the years. Not many, yeah. So, and everybody loves dates. They come to Palm Springs, they
yeah,
want to
just
buy
for the
dates.
reason.
And the way
Exactly.
that you have these packaged, I want to buy them myself. Definitely, it's lovely. That would
Thank
make
you.
such a nice gift to give
Yeah,
somebody.
thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor of accepting this vendor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just need to see
Motion
it.
accept. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We will see you on the street.
Thank you.
You're welcome. No. Oh, I know where they were.
Gary Evans,
You want to keep that?
Harmonic Horizon.
I'm good.
Sure, we'll divide it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could use a lid.
All right. Thank you
Sorry,
so
my door.
much.
My husband.
Delightful. There's a lid.
Yeah. And get this stuff out of here easier.
And Chris just comes back. Oh.
Okay.
This way I'll get to try one of these.
Come on up. Thank you so much.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Yes, I am. I'm actually one. Kevin is deceased. That's the other half of Harmonic Horizon. So I play with the backgrounds that he recorded and then that others have recorded. So you have 2 CD. Oh, he's going to play something. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is Spirit Riders in the Sky. So we used to play in Leavenworth, Washington. I don't know if you've ever been there. We about 5 summers. We played there in the gazebo outside. We'd sell 300 CDs a day.
What are you playing?
That's a flugelhorn.
Oh, a horn.
I'm the horn player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I have been playing recently up for the farmers market in Idlewild.
Oh.
You know, this last summer. And this week I played at the Purple Room on Tuesday night with Trish Hatley. And that's how I got down here. Trish called up and says, well, would you come down and play at Woody's with Barney McClure and myself? So I drove down, actually flew down, and I rented a bicycle. I didn't think I needed a car. Tried out your trails. And then you want me to talk over the top of that? It's okay.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, so I did. I flew down and then played at Woody's, and there happened to be all these ladies from Healing Waters Mobile Home Park that were there, and they said, well, you got to come try out the pools. So I went out and tried out the pools, and then pretty soon, here comes Marilyn. Well, you better see what's for sale. So I ended up buying a place that day. So so now I have a place at Healing Waters. And then someone needed a couch delivered up in Idlewild, so I delivered the couch to the Royal Pines, and immediately walked down to the office and put down a deposit, and now I have a place there for the summer. So anyway, after 68 years in the Seattle area, I'm here.
Sounds like to me you're easy.
Yeah, well, I just want to see the sun finally, you know. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's
All right.
great.
Any more discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that this gentleman.
A second?
I'll second.
Very good.
Great music. I like it.
All in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Opposed?
So we'll
Great.
see you on the street.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're sure welcome,
Appreciate it.
Gary.
Thank you, Gary. All righty. We have no unfinished business?
Oh, Amy isn't coming?
Oh, no, Amy's not coming.
Okay.
How come?
No, she's not coming. Oh, I'm sorry, 5A. You want to turn it over to you for 5I.
Right, so this was the vendor who appeared before the board at their last meeting. We placed them on a hold so the board could review a video of of a board meeting where we did approve someone who had support from other people to make their product. Faith did send that email out. In addition to that, we brought several applications that show photos of other vendors who this board has approved who has support in making their products. So we're going to give that to you. We're going to ask to postpone the discussion until our next board meeting, when we will have one additional board member, which will be at your next board meeting. We will have a new board member on the board.
Really?
So,
It's Darrell.
Oh.
so we're gonna postpone the discussion. We would, however, like for you to take some time, either now or at the end of the board meeting, to review these applications of other vendors in which we have approved, who have support in making their product.
Is it just those two?
These are the two that we have on file, yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't know when else we would do it if not now, even if we're not gonna have the discussion about it, but do you wanna, do you want her to maybe pass them out?
Yeah,
We
you
could
want to
take,
just
like,
pass the,
Yeah, you can.
yeah, we can look
You
at
can
them now
absolutely.
Or
and,
something, and.
yeah, let's just look at them now.
You
'cause-
could also do it after the board meeting. You don't have to do it during a board meeting.
We can, but we
You
can't
cannot
talk to each
discuss it.
other
Right,
about it.
yeah. Right.
So, but, and also, I think there's a meeting in here at 5.
There is.
Okay,
Oh, well then,
yeah.
okay, well then we'll, all right. Thank you. So there's no unfinished business. Any new business? None. Reports and requests. Public, doesn't sound like there's any. Board comments, 5 minutes per person. Any board comments?
Were you not bringing back another vendor with jewelry? Was that not coming back to us again? Someone that had multitude of jewelry?
I think you're probably talking about the vendor, this application here.
Red one
Mhm.
here.
Gotcha.
Okay. Subcommittee reports.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me,
Did we
Julie.
already do board comments? So.
Yes.
Sorry. So, I did go a couple weeks ago to walk the street and, yeah, I did, yeah. I mean, it was just something I was just doing. Chris and I haven't really hooked up, although we've tried to a couple of times. But I went independently, and so there were a couple of things happening out there, and I sent that in writing.
Which we appreciate. It's easy for us to follow up when you send it in writing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can take it out to the street.
Well, and for me too, because otherwise I forget. And one of the problems though was 2 of the 4 things that I reported, they did not have their license out or for me to see to actually get the name off of it. So I just had to say it was across and 1 space over from, the VillageFest booth or whatever. So that was a little bit difficult. Then I do also want to say in regards to CBD, sorry, but even though the hemp bill passed, the FDA still says that it is not acceptable to have that in eating in anything that's going to be ingested. So just want to let you know, the farm bill that passed with the hemp stuff in it is super confusing for most anybody, even my lawyer. And so I just wanted to report on that, though, that the ingestion is still a discussion, even though the topicals now are not.
What was our position on dog treats?
So to stay within our current guidelines, we do allow for dog treats to be sold at VillageFest because they are not governed by the health department in any form. So we have had people who have made their own dog biscuits, dog cookies, any sort of dog treat, and we have allowed them to sell. So in order to stay within our same current guidelines, we have allowed them with CBD products in them.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Last meeting, didn't we approve the dog biscuits for somebody?
No, not at the last meeting,
Oh,
no.
okay.
We do have a vendor who is allowed
Yeah.
to sell them, though.
Yeah, okay, that's what I remember.
I'm just wondering if we don't want a human to eat it, why are we allowing dogs to eat it if we don't know what it's made from?
It's the same guidelines that we have for just general dog items at VillageFest.
And I know that we can't really discuss this specific thing because it's not an agenda item, but I just want to say that's why it is so critically important that every single thing that we vote on here just follows the rules and regulations set forth by the city council, and not to judge it based on what it is so much, but does it fit within the rules and regulations? And once we set a precedent by doing something else, we are on a very slippery slope of other things being allowed to happen here.
So that's how dog treats were allowed, was that it's not governed by the health department in any form. And for years, this board has allowed dog treats as long as they were being at least 75% handmade by the person who was selling them. If they fit into that guideline, then the board has approved them to sell any sort of dog treats, regardless whether they had CBD products in them or not.
Great, thank you.
Can I ask, what's the question about this jewelry company?
Those are ones that we approved that they had help. So that
These
precedent, those two.
Okay.
Right, those are the two that we could think of off of the top of our head, and have
I
the
was not
photos to
here for
prove
that
it.
one jewelry one, which I was wondering why would I have, but I did not take part in that vote. I wasn't here that meeting or something, I don't know. But personally, you know.
That was the one that you sent us the video on, right?
Yeah, Faith did.
The fight, right, the March 27th. Okay, any more discussion?
Does it matter whether it's mass-produced? This to me looks like factory work. I'm sorry, it doesn't look like an arts and craft.
Well, that's why we were reviewing it, because, you know, that, to me, I'm trying to figure out how we could have any, just in general, so not to be speaking of any individual or anything, but when I see a booth that has a really lot of stuff, those are the ones I take a closer look at from compliance standards, because how many pieces can you make yourself and, you know, have booths and be out selling and everything else. So to me, that's usually a red flag to take a second look at them when the booth looks like that after they've already been approved. Thank you.
Jewelry is pretty easy to detect, if you know jewelry.
Hard to prove.
Yeah.
Easy to prove when it's stamped
I
with
know.
somebody else's name, or
right.
or when it says
Yeah.
Mexico on it, or those are easier, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing with these now?
We were just going to look at those because those are two that were voted to allow help in the production of them, and then that came up in number 5I on our agenda. That was kind of the precedent that we were trying to go by there.
And are we going to vote to keep them or not to keep them?
Well, we'll have to talk about it after it's on an agenda.
Yeah, I think that that'll be handled at the next meeting.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Any comments on the compliance committee? I will say we have not had a chance to pull our thoughts together, so we're going to ask 1 month.
Okay.
And we will get back to you. Main Street comments?
Yeah. What's happening?
Everything is good.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's so happy. No, but there's no problems with VillageFest or
All right, we'll take
anything.
it.
So, yeah, so everybody seems to be, I mean, somebody has a problem, they call me, I call Jasmine and Faith, it gets handled, that's the end of it. What
Life's
more can you
good.
ask for? The real problem is the people that don't complain and let it fester until they're having a conniption fit at some meeting somewhere. So that's just what's really important is, you know, and that's what we tell the merchants. And Jasmine comes every month to Main Street, and she always says, if you have any problems, you know, just contact me. And because how are they going to know? There is some problems still with those vegan videos that are out there. That is a difficult situation. It's very ugly and scares children, you know, stuff like that. So, but there's nothing we could do about it, so it is what it is.
Yeah. How about the hotel? The paper's been kind of people are complaining that the city okayed. Is it they need 3 years?
The Virgin
Yeah,
Hotel?
the Virgin.
Well, apparently there was a lawsuit in regards to the Kimpton Hotel that they did not pay prevailing wages to the workers. And if you want to get the money from the city, the way that they, not really that they're getting money from the city, is that they don't have to pay their TOT tax to the city. So it's money the city wouldn't have had without the hotel. But still, when you're doing those sort of programs, you're required to pay prevailing wages, and they may or may not have. And so now that is an added wrinkle in the Virgin Hotel project, that they want 3 years so that they could defend themselves in this action. This is my understanding of it.
Okay.
So, so we'll just have to see. But I just, I think it's very important in the meantime, though, that the property, the unimproved areas of that property needs to have a nice construction fence there that, and doesn't look like a mess there. And
Yeah.
I think that it would
does.
be great, especially, when you're asking for
Yeah.
a little extra hand there, that you should follow that and make sure it looks good. 'Cause,
Presentable,
like
sure.
over at Lori's, at her hotel, she has such a nice construction fence up, and they always had a good one up over at the rail project at the Andaz too, which seems to be coming along just fine. So that's all, you gotta respect your neighbors and make it look
Yes.
nice,
It's
and
our downtown.
that's right. Because it's all our downtown.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
just one
I
developer.
know it. Part mine.
Exactly. Staff reports?
Staff would just like to report that Board Member Tina Louise sent in her letter of resignation effective immediately. So I believe they're going to take that at the next board meeting. Oh, meeting's over.
Oh,
Yeah.
420.
Does it? Is it censored?
Sorry, but it is.
We're in black now.
Oh, yeah, we didn't move enough, right? These are censored.
We're still on air,
Oh.
but they can't see us.
Oh,
There
oh,
it is.
okay.
Somebody
All
hit
right,
the
well,
switch.
So, yes, her letter of resignation was sent in to the city clerk's office, and it should be accepted tomorrow's meeting. And then in addition to that, we should be receiving a new board member, hopefully approved by city council at tomorrow's meeting. So ideally, they'll be at our next board meeting.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'd like to thank Tina for her work here and for the years she put in. So thank you, Tina, wherever you are.
I won't be at next meeting, so I want you guys to be very nice to the new member.
You got it. You got it.
Well, I think we're going to adjourn, since we've done our business, and we'll adjourn at 4:21 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yes, you have a motion.